Hello, folks. So today we are going to look at the website Berkshire Hathaway. I like this website because, as you know, Berkshire Hathaway is I think, almost $1 billion company owned by Warren Buffett, right? And as you can see, it has a copyright from 1977 to 2026, right? So it's built in some of the old technology, and uh, this is just an example of a website that is there for like a big institution. Doesn't need any flashy website. It just needs the bare minimum website, or what you call as the bare bones website, and it still works for them till date. They're not using any fancy framework like Next.js or on Angular or anything of that sort. They've kept it simple and sweet, and it still works for them. So let's take a deep dive and see how it's built and learn some HTML also along the way. Going into the inspect tab of it, let's get it up a, a notch up, right? And as we know that at every HTML website, for example, or I'm sorry, every website always begins with the HTML root tag. Normally, it is also has a doc type of HTML, which is more for modern browsers, um, uh, uh, to tell the browser that they can use the modern browser engines on this website, and not to go into any of the quirk modes, or the older engines, especially in terms of IE, right? But this one doesn't have that sort of a tag here, which means that you might expect to see some older HTML tags and so forth here, right? Then you have the HTML tag, which is the root element, followed by the head and the body tag. So the head tag is relatively simple. It just has, you can see it starts off with the script tag, right? The script tag is basically, it is a Google Analytics tab here. So you can see that. So they're trying to see, or trying to do their analytics with Google, so they had to put this tag in, right? Followed by another text JavaScript, which is a Google Tag Manager, and a similar it's used for similar purposes, just for tracking analytics purposes. And the third script tag is also belongs to the Google family, mostly used for analytics. And then the script here we are not seen in. There you go. You got some JavaScript here with a unique identification, again for the Google manager, and using u- uh, using that part of it. Uh, right. So that was about script tags, and then let's go to this one here, the title tag. As we know that the title tag is what appears here. They don't even have a favicon, so to hell with the favicon, right? You don't need it when you're a $1 billion company. And a very good example, as I would said before, of something that's simple but works, right? And that's how it should be, right? In today's AI era, where we have these fancy code generators and fancy code agents. This is something like a real laugh that you can work with this kind of technology. I mean, such a simple thing, right? And instead of, well, they're spending like billions of dollars on data centers and things like that, and something simple should work, and that's where my work is also headed towards, like looking at these simple websites and what they can accomplish. So and then let's look at the next tag, which is saying that it's a text slash HTML. That's just to tell the browsers, oh man, this is just HTML. Okay, that's good. But the important tag here is the character set. Now, you usually see the character set tag here. It says character set is equal to Unicode, which is again a very old kind of tag. Nowadays, you use like the UTF-8 tag, right? Which is more this, which tells that sometimes if you have some content which this website doesn't have, and exactly doesn't need that kind of a tag, but if you had some like stuff in Japanese, or in Arabic, it would appear properly on the website because it knows that the character encoding, right, goes by the character encoding UTF-8 or UTF-16, and then followed by this tag, which is a important tag. Like it tells you that this was built by some kind of a tool, right, a generator. So maybe they made it in like Word or something, and then it was made into an HTML website. So again, it's not like not showing a lot of expertise in HTML, so they're not even bothered to do that. It is just the bare minimum. I think they build it in Word or something of that sort, and you can just use this generator to create this HTML. Um, okay. The next tag is, you can ignore this tag. It's just auto-generated tag here, and that completes the head, right? So it was mostly about the Google Manager, and it had the title in there. Okay. And now let's look at the body. It's got some settings here for the background color, you know, and then starting off with a bold tag, nothing here, it's just there. So, well, it's just loading stuff up, which is not good. It'll just increase your load times. HTML, it has to pass more HTML, but there's nothing here. So, but it's not a big deal. This is like nothing to parse actually. And then you can see very interestingly, I observed this, that the word, even this Berkshire Hathaway, the company name, you see they have not used any CSS. And I don't see a style sheet was not mentioned there. It's just, if you come here, you can see that the styles are just the styles which come along with the browser, so they're not used anything. And again, this font element in HTML is an old element, my friends. It's an old one, so they are right. So there have been very less updates to it, as you can see, and it's done the job, man. I think it looks pretty neat. The Berkshire Hathaway, the way they've done it, just using fonts, great. And then similarly, the address, they could have used the address bar for that. It would have scored more points in the accessibility arena, right? And just all right, talking of that, we can just go to say the you can go to okay, let's complete this maybe, and then we can go on to see the accessibility. So it's just good for the screen readers, people who are visually impaired or similar. It's easier for them when you're using screen readers to tell them that this is the address. But it's okay because they can identify that once it reads the address to them. And then there's some just tag, I think, just for formatting. You can see that again, another example of just a very basic kind of formatting has been done here, some patchwork, I would say. And then they're using this to center. Oh, they're using the HR tag here. Very nice, to separate out the header. And then they use the see, there's no use of the H2 or the H1 tags also, So again, there's a big gap over here for accessibility. Like people who are visually impaired might be shareholders in this company. They want to go through the documentation. It makes it easier for them, but it looks like that's not affected the company much in terms of otherwise they would have done it. There have not been, maybe not been that many requests in for that kind of people. I think more interested in the content that these links hold here. um, and so then let's and then this also is a very, these are all depreciated tags, right? Align, center, they all been now we have been asked to use CSS instead of using these tags. um, Now let's go to see what so now you see that next is the table here, which is so yeah, no fancy, just a regular table going in here with the rows and columns set with a particular width. Very nice, right? And then let's see how it looks in the mobile view. Not a great, huh? Not a great. Yeah, so another thing would be the mobile accessibility is not a lot. It would be difficult to read it. As you can see, they're just been uh, the the cells have just been aligned have been marked with the height and the width here, and that's how the alignment and the styling has been done. So very simple to understand that the table completes here. The center tag ends here again. uh, they've used this alignment at the center for everything, nothing in the paragraph tags, gotta close it. Align center, nothing here in the paragraph tags. And so where did my, oh yeah, this has something here. So as you go in here, you have the image coming in for Geico, some advertisement for Geico there, right? It's why I think one of the main companies holdings of makes a lot of money for them, looks like, and it's right there on its page also. So a mention to Geico with, you know, didn't forget to mention its friend there, and then a good advertisement here because thousands will be visiting this web page. Everybody starting to know about Buffett and so on, and you have thousands of visiting that website. Okay, and then and so the saga goes on. Ooh, you just got a font size of 2, and they've just dropped a paragraph here, letters. If you have any comments about our web page, so forth, very nice. These are basically anchor tags, right? And they go nowhere, and they're not even displayed because there's nothing in here, right? So if you were to, could I put in something there? Enter k edit HTML. Yeah, how about a hello? Right. Yeah. So the hello comes here. So nothing in there like right now. But okay. So let's stop playing around with it. And let's just go. Okay. And then the other thing was here is the final thing here, which is sorry, the DL tag, right? Which is the DL tag is called the um I think it's called the descriptive listing. Like you have the UL and the OL ordered list, and this is the description list. Right, and then this is the so normally what you have with DL is, you would, if you look at, yeah, I got it open, it's the description list. You would normally have the DT and the DD, right? The DT is basically the description term, and DD is the description definition, but nothing has been used as such right here. And so I think they initially had it in. It just got the legal disclaimer and the copyright, right? They've put in that. So normally you would put in like a key value pairs or a term and a description, right? A description of the term, like for example, the email is this, and what the email would be is the phone number, and things like that. Let's see what they have used here in the example on MDN. The cryptides of Cornwall, right? The beast of Bodmin, a large feline inhabiting Bodmin Moor. Okay, so these are basically terms here, and then these are the descriptions, right? You would not know what this means, owl man, right? And then you got a description here. So there you go. I'm really not aware of what this is talking about. Um, Forgive my ignorance on that. But that's the general or the basic use of it. Um, and then you let's go back down here, and you got your copyright, uh, again using the same font size of 2, and doing getting the work done. So pretty good in there. Let's go and let's look at some other stuff, right? So in the network tab, when we, you see, so these are just the resources downloading the Google Analytics. It's downloading Google Analytics. Got a GIF there for Geico, a friend, and right, and then a few other things here. Okay, and looks like these are all Google rated. You see the G dash this coming in, so nothing much actually happening as it says there. And it's got some of its performance metrics here, and it says that not really aware of what the largest contentful paint. I think it's the way the HTML, the DOM is then painted, right? Uh, Across the screen, and it just, but I might be wrong, like so I won't comment further on that. But it says that everything is good. Yeah, cumulative layout shift is good, the interaction is good, so it should be good because, as I said, it's a simple website. So, and then if you go to Lighthouse, right, and analyze page load, so this is normally this is a tool which will go ahead and crawl the website and give us some important details about it. um, right? And as you can see, it's like if you're making a website, it is a pretty cool tool. You can come in here and then you can go through these metrics. So it says performance is 71, accessibility is 82. It says best practices is good, SEO is good. But as we were talking about SEO and screen readers, we knew that some of the things were not included. And then if you go back to the performance and say, why is the performance not that great? So the red marks, total blocking time is maybe because of the JavaScript there. It is things that's blocking it. So going further down here is, have they given anything? Total blocking time, use efficient cache times. So if you can cache some of the stuff, request transfer time, a long cache lifetime can speed up repeats visits to your page, right? People coming a second or a third time if you cache some stuff. And I think it's saying that if this Google Analytics is cached, but I'm not really sure here, right? um, what it's trying to do, and then optimize viewport for mobile. And it's saying is that tab interactions may be delayed up to 300 seconds if the viewport is not optimized. So there's a tag called viewport meta tag. If you put that in, it kind of sizes your um, sizes the content as per the screen if the viewport is not optimized for mobile, right? And then let's go to minimum main thread is 4.6 seconds. uh, yes, so it's taking a long time passing your JavaScript. So I think it's basically those Google Tag Manager and things like that which is taking the time. I'm not much well versed with the script evaluation and these other things that's going on here. It might be interesting to know about them for future videos. Reduce JavaScript execution. Okay, it's saying is that, oh, you remember that what we had seen on top, the 3,380 milliseconds it's taking for the JavaScript. So okay, and then some of the other analytics, it's saying minify your JavaScript if you can. Don't like we saw that it was not minified in there, so you can minify it, reduce unused JavaScript, so it can save. And so as you save the load time, right? The t- sorry, the amount of stuff it has to load, your load time increases, right? And which is makes an efficient website. Accessibility is again 82. It's saying, there you go, our DL stuff here, right? um Experience don't contain proper order DT and DD, right? Internationalization and local. See, it doesn't have a language attribute, so it doesn't know what language it is. And say you're like you're loading the site from say Germany or something, it could have maybe somebody who doesn't know how to read this could have the browser could have maybe translated into German or something, which might be good. So but it doesn't like it in general specify the language. So I think it's talking about the main tag. What is the main? There's a main tag, so which is one per page, and it says that it doesn't know what is your main content, right? um and so on. And it's got best practices is 92, and says that display this Geico image is it's complaining about it, saying that um so it's not very clear, looks like, how it appears right now out here. And it's saying what we told in the beginning, that it lacks that HTML doc type element, so on. And then the SEO is 91. Okay, so that's about it for this as we know about it. And if you look at the security, it's saying, "Ooh, everything is valid," so they're good on security. And then if you just go ahead and if you want to browse the website, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. A message from Warren Buffett, still written in this, and I think they must have just used the font size in this to do everything. There is no styling, no nothing. Great, man. I love this because it does what it's supposed to do with very less, right? Excellent, excellent. I can see why Berkshire Hathaway is a good company here. You know, It's got these downloads here, which is in Word. It's not nothing fancy, nothing flashy, simple, sweet, and does the job what I like. Great goings. Have fun. Take care. Until the next video.